World War III watch. Pro-Russia junta leader in Niger blows off Victoria Nuland. Now, the reason why I was interested in this article wasn't the fact they were talking about World War III. It's the fact that they mentioned this Victoria Nuland person. I did a video about her a couple months ago when she was talking about the biolabs in Ukraine. So anyway, let's get to the article. Coup leaders in Niger refuse to allow Nuland to meet with the deposed President Mohammed, who she described as under virtual house arrest. Coup leaders and self-proclaimed new President Tiani, probably said that wrong, refused to meet with Nuland, who previously sought to promote democracy and influence the elections in neighboring Nigeria in February. Influence elections. Okie day. After Nuland's visit to Nigeria in February, Bola was declared the winner in March, despite only winning 36.6% of the vote. Labour Party spokesman Kato called the elections rigged. Well, it depends on how many parties they have. 36%. That's pretty good if you have like 5 parties. Here in Canada, we have the NDP, the Green, the Liberal, the Conservative, and the Bloc Party. So, 36% is pretty good. I don't know how many parties they have, but it's more than one. In Niger today, Nuland only got to meet with self-proclaimed Chief of Defense General Mossa. So they were having a conversation, and CNN reports Washington has now suspended aid payments to the junta. Well, yeah, if there was a coup, you wouldn't want to keep giving them aid. But anyway. Breaking. The revolutionary government of Niger has responded to the suspension of U.S. aid by telling the U.S., we don't want your money. Use it to fund a weight loss program for victims. Burn. Russia recently hosted a conference of 48 out of 54 African nations. Oh wow. In St. Petersburg, and has now completely outflanked NATO in North Africa with allies in Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Wagner Group mercenaries are active in Chad, Sudan, Libya, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Wagner's number one mission right now is Africa. Major Scott Rittler told Stephen Gardner yesterday, they're a moneymaker. Where they're doing most of their fighting today is Africa. There's the makings of a big war between a pro-Russian bloc of nations and a pro-American French bloc of nations. The African continent is on the brink of war that would make the Ukraine war pale by comparison. Yeah, and because the West is so busy funneling weapons into Ukraine, they wouldn't be able to arm their Africans. So, because you think the main supplier of weapons, the US, Russia, China, France, and Great Britain. After the coup d'etat in Niger and the removal of the French puppet from the presidential position, the West African Organization, which is under full control of the United States and France, announced that it would attack Niger. Don't touch my puppets. A military intervention by Western allied ECOWAS states would mean a new Biden-Nuland proxy war on a new continent. So I guess a delegation from Mali went to Burkina Faso. So I guess that's one country, Burkina Faso, it's not two. Arrived in Niamey, Niger's capital, to express military support for Niger's new government. These two countries raised the state of the army to high combat and announced that they will fight side by side. I find it kind of strange how the approval rating for the Ukrainian conflict is going down in the West, and now there's a conflict rising up in Africa. Is it a coincidence that the US elections are just around the corner? Guess we'll have to wait and see. Well, take care out there in Clown World.